What's up, everybody? My name's Kellam, and I'm here to let you know about an asset that I think everybody should be at least diving into, paying attention to in the RWA, real world asset tokenization sector. On this channel, I've been breaking down a lot of huge updates that has been coming to the Polkadot ecosystem, the DOT 2.0 upgrades that not just on Polkadot, but within their ecosystem, the parachains and everything that they're doing to push that forward. And I found an asset that I have to share with you, and it is right here. Looking at the chart, we can see Centrifuge, CFG, which is a parachain within the Polkadot ecosystem, is, I think, primed to absolutely dominate profits over the next few years. Now, is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. Nothing in this market is guaranteed, but same thing with Ondo. I love Ondo, and it's a long-term hold for me, but when I'm thinking about how much I like a particular asset or a particular niche within an asset class, I ask, how can I not only make sure that I can protect my upside, but also protect if there's some sort of huge issue, exploit, regulatory, smackdown. And it's good to have diversification, which is why I went digging, looking through all this different research I have when I've been looking at what's going on and growing into this Polkadot ecosystem. And I found Centrifuge. So let's dive into it a little bit. Let's talk about it. Let me know in the chat if any of you have already had CFG on your radar, if you've already purchased it, because this has already had a pretty big boom and bust. It's all over, right? No, the entire crypto market also had that bust. Look at this huge base that it has formed on a technical level. They say the longer the base, the higher the space, right? Especially when you consider an asset niche like the RWA sector that's about to have a huge amount of capital coming in. So what I'm going to cover in this video very quickly is just what is Centrifuge? How is it different from Ondo? Is it something that, maybe you should consider having in your portfolio? So what is Centrifuge? Well, Centrifuge is an RWA protocol that allows you to tokenize real world assets on chain. But more specifically, we hear that a lot. What are they specifically doing? Essentially what they're doing is they're allowing you to use your real world asset to tokenize it for collateral for other capital. So you're able to collateralize different things, whether it's invoices, whether it's, actual real estate, whether it's different dealings that you have in the real world that you can collateralize to draw capital out of, basically broadening this idea of what DeFi is, decentralized finance, security, a protocol with legal recourse and strong regulatory and compliance requirements. This is important as the RWA sector grows. We talked about this last week when we brought up the co-founder from Chintai Checks. This is one of those things that I really want all of you to focus on when you're looking at anything that has to do with RWA. This is bridging that gap from legacy and traditional finance, stepping into the future with DeFi, decentralized finance, bringing things on chain, especially when we're tokenizing real world assets, whether it's financial products and services, US treasuries, or real estate. We have to make sure that the protocols themselves, the assets that we're looking into, have some sort of focus on regulatory and compliance requirements to make sure that they're basically dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure that they don't get themselves in hot water before this asset class really takes off. Now, when we're looking at what's going on with this asset, let's look at some of those basic things that we always want to look at. What's the market cap currently? We're sitting at this asset sitting at about 246 million. The volume's a little over 1.3, $1.4 million in volume, which isn't too bad right now when a lot of the engagement is down and the volume is down in the crypto market. But we can also see right here, look at how much of the circulating supply is out versus the total supply. This is actually looking relatively healthy, knowing that you're not going to get a lot of dilution as new tokens come out. This is actually looking very beautiful. And in terms of the markets where you can find it, OKX, Kraken, Gate.io, KuCoin, BingX. So it still doesn't have major listings on Binance, on Coinbase. So this also leaves a lot of room for price action to the upside as those broader access points, those main crypto, mainstream essentially crypto exchanges, centralized exchanges, when those listings do come out, we can likely see some upside from that as well. So when we're going back in here and we're seeing that they're doing things differently from what's going on with Ondo, let's talk about it. We see TradFi, borrower, broker fee, agent fee, all the different, basically the needed things for trust in TradFi. Then you bring things on chain. You have DeFi, you have the borrower, you have all of the mechanisms, the trustlessness. Everybody needs to realize. Let me take a break here. See, people get confused on this idea when they step into blockchain about what trustlessness is. That sounds scary, but what it truly means is the mechanisms in blockchain are set up in a way that you don't need 40 different people to verify and then cross-verify and then have a third party to verify that you're not being, taken advantage of by the... No, with blockchain, it's all built into smart contracts. It's transparent. It's on chain. So this is why DeFi is becoming such a boom within financial markets globally, because all of a sudden you're eliminating, I think Mark Yusko said it's something like $7 trillion every year. There's a huge number in terms of fees that are paid every year to basically achieve that trust that's needed in traditional markets. Within DeFi, this is the new mechanism. You have the borrower, you have all the smart contracts, you have the transparency on chain, and then you have the access or the action to whatever funds or transaction that you're doing. You're eliminating all of this, which actually speeds up those transactions or the actions that you're trying to do. And it also eliminates the cost of all of this doing business. Gain access to more diversified and stable junior and senior yield backed by productive assets from the real world invoices, real estate, revenue-based financing, and more. You can also have active ability to vote about what's happening. So become active in protocol governance to help shape the future of Centrifuge through active participating and voting. You're not just a third party bystander victim of the system that you're working in. You can actively not only utilize the real world assets that you're collateralizing for new debt or new financial transactions, but you can also vote and participate in the governance and shaping the future of that protocol. Now, when you're looking at this, Centrifuge is the platform for tokenizing real-world assets on chain. So they said it one line, simple, it's easy to understand. And in addition to all this, when we look at that metric, Joshua Jake shares regularly, it says RWA.XYZ. You can also see that Figure is actually the largest lender here within this, looking at the private credit metrics on RWA.XYZ. But Centrifuge is the next largest one up here. Total loans, $604 million in total loans so far, $286 million in active loans. And this is in that industry that we started at the beginning that went from $1.5 billion back in 2018, this entire RWA asset class, to $120 billion now. This is not high when you consider that we're going likely somewhere at, the low side, 3.5 trillion to somewhere in the $10 trillion range. There's so much room to the upside in terms of how much capital is going to be flowing into this asset class. So I want to pay attention to things, yes, like Ondo, which I've been talking to you all about over the last many months, really. But then also Centrifuge. So on Ondo's case, we're talking about the tokenization of treasuries. So this is a different sector within this asset class. When we're talking about RWAs, it's not everything is just tokenizing real estate or tokenizing art. There's so many different sectors within this, and one of them may have an incredible boom while another may have, incredible bust. So it's important that although you may like Ondo, although you may like Checks, although you may like Centrifuge, why not get a little bit of exposure to all of them? Look a little deeper on all these. This is one of those coins. This is one of those projects that I'm going to be having on my radar. In fact, I put a little star on it here on CoinMarketCap so I can make sure that it is on my watch list when I'm paying attention to what's going on in this market so I can track what's happening, because I think this is one of those next projects that I'm going to be layering into, because I want to make sure that I have exposure to an asset and various different assets within a class that I think is going to absolutely explode in this coming bull market. And yes, markets felt a little boring lately, but you know what? When we're looking at this on the chart, I mean, we're having, a lot of accumulation here, and look at this reset. Some people may have, may have felt like it was running away. It's looking like it's giving you a pretty good opportunity, coming back, breaking down from this head and shoulders, giving you opportunity as it's testing these previous range highs. This may be setting up for that next boom to the upside. So my question to you is Centrifuge something that is interesting to you for your portfolio? I know it is for mine, because it looks good. Tokenomics are good. The team is good. It's in the Polkadot ecosystem. I know Polkadot's doing a lot right now to push out as much of a word as possible to as many people as possible, because they are doing so much in the ecosystem. And I think Centrifuge is going to be an absolute killer altcoin for this coming bull market. So are you going to add it to your portfolio? Let me know. Drop it a line in the comments right now. And with that, thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you are diversifying and taking advantage of the assets before they absolutely run away from you. That's all I got for you. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. I'll see you in the next video. Adios, muchachos.